we've all collaborated and shared really vulnerably our lives, our stories, and how we have taken our life and turned our life experiences into our message. And that's what we're sharing with the world. So welcome today. I'm joined with my friend, my sister, and author, Jennifer Genuine Sowden. Welcome.
Thank you, Z.
And we're together. We're not like in little squares.
I don't know.
Hold on. This is, let me just make sure this is muted.
For the record, we spent like 30 minutes trying to get everything right before we hit go live.
My tech has been, everything has broken down today, but thank God we're here. Here we are. We did it. And I'm going to stop costume changing. This is the final hair and the outfit. So yeah, Jen, thanks for coming on. Thank you for yes, and thank you for saying yes to participating in this book together. We've been on a lot of calls, writing, revising, transforming, because as we're writing, we're discovering things. So what had you say yes to doing this, like to write your story and put it out in the world like you're doing?
What had me say yes to this opportunity was I've always wanted to write a book. I've always known that I have not just a book, but books inside of me. And it's something that I've wanted to do, but just never got around to doing. And so when you invited me, Z, to have this opportunity, I was like, hell yes, this is an opportunity. And what I love about it is it's not just me writing. I'm surrounded by my sisters who are also sharing, deep, vulnerable, beautiful, transformational stories. And so to be a part of that energy just feels like the perfect way to break out and be in the author world, So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Hallelujah. I'm so happy that your story and your message are becoming available. Jen, you're such a resource for the world. So do you want to share a little bit about what you wrote in the book?
Well, basically, my chapter is about my dirty laundry a little bit. I really have 3 specific things that had always been kind of like a sticking point for me, things that I was ashamed about. I didn't want to share. I just didn't. I didn't want people to hear these things or know these things about my life. And I put it all in this one chapter, guys. So, there it is for the whole world to read. And it's really just about learning to love yourself, whoever you are. And that's the intention of my specific share, is that when you read it, you will understand how powerful you are, and that your experiences are just that. They're experiences. They're not your identity. See, I had allowed the experiences that I'd been through to shape who I thought I was. And it affected everything. It affected how I showed up in the world. It affected my relationships, it affected how I was serving. It affected everything. And so I knew that I had to come to grips with that. I had to really find a place of self-acceptance, for the things that I had been through and the experiences that I've had. So that's the share and the intention of my chapter.
Yeah, it's clear, in your chapter, that one, you're being so vulnerable, Jen, by sharing your life, the experiences that you've had. And what was the point for you? Where did you draw a line in the sand in your life, and that was the turning point?
I don't want to give away what's in the book, because there's a big part of the chapter. But there was a turning point when I was literally at the lowest moment of my life. Literally felt like if I wasn't even here, would anybody even care? Would they even notice? It was very, very, you hear people say about dark night of the soul. It was dark, honey. No stars shining. It was so dark. And it was in that moment that I really felt the love of God, the love of Source. And it was in that moment that I realized you're never alone. It sounds so cliche and we hear it all the time, but in that moment, I got it. I really, really got I'm never alone. And I got that the love that I want from people was deep within me the whole time. And I didn't have to search anywhere for what was already here within. So
whatever happens, you have found a way to learn from it and grow from it. What would you say is the overarching the overarching soul lesson from your chapter? Like, what is it that you want people to know from your soul lesson?
The importance of loving yourself. And, you know, I share a lot about that. And we just had a beautiful conversation before this call about an area where I'm still not comfortable with myself, you know? So it's not like you're just going to have this moment and you're going to be forever a person who is transformed and changed and love yourself. It's an ongoing process. You find new ways to love and adore yourself every single day, new ways to take care of yourself every single day, you know? And also where we're at right now is perfect. Where you're at is perfect. Where I'm at is perfect. And there's growth and things, you know, to do and evolve. But that's one of the main things. Is like learning to love yourself it's not like, okay, today I love myself and forevermore. That's it. No, it's all the time, because you're always evolving. You're always changing. Right. So really learning to fall in love with the experiences that I didn't want to have. I didn't like them. I was ashamed of them, embarrassed by them.
Wow. What a breakthrough, like, for you. I'm just present, like, the person who wrote the article, like, to have the courage, to have the generosity, you know, to share that with the world. Thank you. Yeah. I started laughing before because I've been watching the camera. So I'm going to share a little bit, okay, from our conversation. So it was so great because, Jen, I love you so much. And I acknowledge you, because it wouldn't be a conversation we would have if we were not two people that are interested in the value of loving ourselves, of living a life where we're authentic to that, right? So before we got on the call, you know, Jen wanted to get her good side on the camera. Let's put it that way, right? So we've been setting it up so she gets her good side. So I've been watching the camera and I'm like, look, I've been taking the bullet for us the whole time. Do you see how I'm getting the side profile? But it's so perfect, because that is the work, right? The work of awareness, the work of being open to see what's next. Because that's one of the things, I don't know about you. I do know about you, because we've been so intimately close throughout this whole process. I think each one of us, like I say in the Creatrix journey, like, your soul lesson is a life lesson. So it's not like, okay, my soul lesson is to love myself and to show others how to love themselves. So like Jen said, like, we're never going to be at the top of that mountain, but only somebody who's really interested in that would be open to me being like, nah, girl, right? Because I was like, then my breakthrough in this project has been finding my voice, right? So I was like, nah, girl, both your sides work. And but it was so great, because we've all been growing in the process of, one, working together, and two, the process of writing your story in itself is so transformational. Yeah. And then the anticipation of sharing it with you all is really nerve-wracking and exciting. How's it been for you? How has, like, the writing been? And, like, now we're getting to the end of it and we all have to, like, release it and say it's done.
Man, I have wanted to pull the plug at least 5 times. As recent as this morning, I was like, have you submitted it yet? I was getting really cold feet. I'm like, I don't know if I.
Is that why you were asking?
Yes,
me?
That's why I was
asking.
thought
you were going to change a picture or something.
No, I was just going to be like, pull the plug. I'm not ready, you know? So yeah, it's one of those things where just giving myself permission and knowing that what my heart's desire is, truly deep down, when there's not fear in the way, when there's not ego and this desire to want to look good and avoid looking bad, when I'm really authentic with who I am, I want to make a difference, and I want to share, and I want to serve. And I know, unfortunately, the things that are in my chapter that I talk about affect women and men to this day. And I feel like it's a disservice to myself and to the world that I'm here to impact by keeping that to myself and not sharing it, because people just, they see us in life and they think, oh, they have such a great life and they don't have any insecurities and blah. No, that's bullshit. Like, we all have something that we struggle with. And also, those places are the places where we're calling for love the most, you know. And FYI, I have been turning to the side. When you go back and watch this replay,
There's a lot of sides.
There's a lot of sides. Like, for you guys watching, since we're bringing it up, I've always been picked on about my nose. Like, ever since I was a little girl, I've got picked on about having a big nose.
She's never said this to me. This just came up right before we recorded. She was like, no, I will not go to the side. I'm like, what do you mean?
I didn't want to do it. But yeah, that was an area where I'm just, like, I'm very insecure. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty girl from the front, but when I turn to the side, I feel not as pretty and not as attractive. And
I got mad at her. I'm like, does that mean I have a bad side too? Do you think I'm ugly from the side? Because if you think you're ugly from the side, you must think I'm ugly from the side. If you think your belly's big, you must think my belly's. Anyways, we went off a little bit, but that was amazing.
It was a breakthrough.
But that's the kind of stuff we've been just.
It's a breakthrough.
It's for her to share this right now. For us, it was such a breakthrough.
It is
so great.
It is, and I'm turning to the side to look at you. Yeah, and I mean, that's part of it, like being authentic about, you know, what we're dealing with. You know, yes, I'm writing this chapter. Yes, I'm going to be a published author, and I still don't like to turn to the side because I have like all this trauma about being picked on as a kid about my big nose, you know. So
and you always are going to teach what you need to learn most. Our self-love guru, please expect finding those blind spots where you're not loving yourself. And that's where your next level is going to be, right? Where Jen is just free to be from side to side to side to side to side, right? Or for me, like I was just sharing with her, my breasts used to be this big thing. Like it's a breakthrough I've had where they haven't changed. You know, they're still not how I used to want, but I've changed up here. So that's the breakthrough, that it's our mindset. Awesome, you guys. This has been so fun. Launching the Creatrix Journeys Volume 1 next week. So stay tuned. We're going to do some more lives this week. You're going to keep meeting the authors. I think next week we're going to do a second phase. I haven't even told you, but I'm thinking we may go live again next week and do some readings. We'll see. But we're so excited to hear your feedback, and for you all to, you know, get intimate with us, because that's really what the book does. We let you into our world, and we get really vulnerable. So we're so excited. Jen, what do you want to leave them with? What's a message that you have that you want to share? It's channeling through.
None of us have it all together. Having your shit together is an illusion. And also, you can have your peace together no matter what you're going through. You can have a relationship with yourself that is healthy and loving and accepting, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you've been through, no matter what your hair looks like. No matter how big your nose is or how big your boobs are, or whatever the things are that you think are so freaking unworthy of love, those are the things that we want to see and love. And I hope that this video has been an inspiration, because that's the intention. The intention, we all want to look good. That's just a human tendency. But deep down, the real intention is to make a difference, make a positive impact in the world. So whatever your gift is, go forth and share that, and know that it matters. Your story matters. The things that you're going through and dealing with that you think nobody would understand, we understand, we get it. And there is power in sharing, especially the things that you don't want to share. So that's what I would leave y'all with.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. I love you.
Mwah.
Blessings.